They're exploiting these kids because of their culture.
What's happening Kamuskolusela does not make sense.
How old is Peanuts? Because he's in that school.
The school controls the children's social media.
What? Because why does every kid know how to dance in that school?
We have schools that are moving like record labels now.
And the contract has got clauses that sort of enslaves the kids.
So we're taking half of your half.
So the contract has a lot of loopholes whereby every possible scenario, they included in it.
And the parents being party to this.
I wanted us to talk about the story of some school in Pretoria that is already enslaving 13-year-olds. And I'll call it enslaving because there is a viral video of Usia Siamtanda where he says he's had a look at a contract that they give to the kids. Now these are 13-year-olds starting high school.
So apparently record labels.
Basically.
No man. Skolo sa bana ba gona no bina ka moka so unkhalfethe I gone uri bana ba no bina ka mokala no bina le.
That is, it's also kind of sus though. Because why does every kid know how to dance in that school? So like when you audition, do you audition to go in the school or what happens?
Or you get recruited.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get.
How old is Peanuts? Because he's in that school.
And the contract has got clauses that sort of enslaves the kids because they say, we are running a tab on you. While you're in the school, everything you eat, the uniform, the books that we give you, electricity, whatever cost, they are running a bill on the kid. And then how you repay us back is that your likeness and your image will be owned by the school and the endorsements that you're going to get in the future.
People don't understand what exactly is a bazaar. These bursaries are a very simple agreement. The school says to the parent and the child that, like, listen, we're going to give your child everything. We're going to give them food, clothing, accommodation, school fees paid, unless all we need from that child is to just play for our team, play at his very best, and then get his matric. That's all that is being asked of those kids. The key difference that I want you guys to really take notice of is that at no time do these schools say to these kids that, like, listen, helifetsa skolo, and you guys then decide to go professional. At no point do these schools say to them that, like, listen, as soon as you holla your first big paycheck from sports, as a school we take 10%. That does not happen, like, at all. That does not happen, because then if that's the case, it defeats the purpose of a bursary. What's happening at that other school with TikTok is that when you look at the contract that Sia mentions in that video, that's essentially what these kids are being asked of, to say that, listen, album.
After your child writes matric, they must deliver one full studio album to the school, commercially accepted.
What? Niggas can barely make it through matric. Now you gotta be thinking about an album.
Or helifetsa skolo, you have to continually pay back the time, energy, effort, and resources that we put into you.
Will be negotiated to by us, and the percentages that we're giving you, we are sharing with you, but when your share, we have to recoup the money that we've been providing for you in the 5 years that you were at the school.
Yeah, your share comes from the net, not the gross.
and you have to pay it off before you can start making money at a later stage.
Coco Pops comes to Bafana and they're like, hey, can you please do a reel for us? Okay, from there, Bafana takes 50%, the school takes the other 50%. Okay, Bafana, you have to do a school tour. Fine, Bafana takes 30%, the school takes 70%. But keep in mind, in the beginning, Bafana came into the school for what? For free. So technically, that 50% he got and the 30% he got, it's not his because he needs to pay for what? Everything else. Ukudla, accommodation, transport, and the school fees.
For call, basically.
Basically, that's what the guy was saying.
The Air Force.
The school takes half, then deducts expenses. Your child might.
So we're taking half of your half. So your half, that's yours. We're taking half of it. That's how this label shit works. The half of your half.
So the contract has a lot of loopholes whereby I feel like every possible scenario, they included in it. The fact that, let's say, in this 5 years, our office sale, you don't do anything, we can add 3 more years. Then that's 8 years. So everything you can think of, by locate.
Once you understand what a bursary is, and what's the purpose of a bursary, you'll then begin to realize what's happening does not make sense, like at all. Like,
And I think that this story is going to open up a lot of wounds. A lot of reflections are going to start to happen about what we've allowed to happen to our culture and our cultural production. They're exploiting these kids because of their culture. And I said this already. We're going to make sure that we cannot benefit.
Actually, I think the parents of these kids aren't really familiar with the entertainment industry. That's why we can go, oh my gosh, that's terrible. But now if my aunt were to read that contract, I don't think she would see anything wrong with it, because this is her first time dealing with such. That's why those parents read that contract. Then unfortunately they don't do their what? Due diligence. Then their kids get and then only in the end do they realize.
We have schools that are moving like record labels now. Schools that are moving like Death Row Records. Ambitious entertainment. So I'm the first person in my bloodline to see school/label, learner/artist in a school enrollment contract. But in my life have I ever thought I'd see education and label in the same sentence. These are combos that have never been comboed before. We got schools that are giving kids 360 deals before GTA 6. Lord send the flood.
The person who's supposed to benefit in a bursary, it is the learner or the recipient of that award. Why? Because this person is going to be getting food, clothing, accommodation, school fees paid, and all the schools asking from this kid. They're not even asking for the kid's money 10 years down the line or their future earnings. All they're asking is that this kid, after school, becomes the highest possible athlete that they can be and just go out and represent the country. The same cannot be said that's an agreement where, as the school, the TikTok school, they're telling the learner that, listen, we're going to give you all of these things, but you have to pay us back. That's a contract.
Your 13-year-old signs this, they're locked in until they're 18. But wait, it gets worse.
How many dance moves can you really come up with, dog? Zapping for 5 years is crazy. Doing the zap, yo, the whole 5 years, zap, yo.
Upeanuts ezebha kanje esikoleni Nkosi yami we baze badlala ngayo umntwana.
That contract man very crazy. The contract is too ambitious to be doing something like this, bro.
Oh wow.
The school controls the children's social media. The parents are not allowed to. The kids are not allowed to get any side gigs.
We don't even know who owns the masters to this music that these kids are recording. We don't know if these kids are in studios and they're signing split sheets and they're going to be able to get royalties from what they're doing, because they're clearly the ones dancing, they're clearly the ones singing, and if you're to remove those kids away from that page, it's pop.
When Eddie Gallo started Gallo, they've been exploiting blacks. They're still exploiting blacks. They're celebrating 100 years of exploiting black talent in South Africa. Celebrate the fact that you've actually got nothing to show for all the work that you've done. The fact that all of you guys are legends. And all of the white people that work at these companies have got more money than you. Their kids go to better schools than your kids will ever go to. And all of them are well off. And they've never written a lyric. They've never done anything to show their talent. And their talent is being exploited. And the parents being party to this themselves are only doing so because they're in desperate situations. Schools are expensive. They've made it normal for a school to be 100,000. When I say that a school is a decent amount at 100,000, that is wrong. We've normalized that you need to get a private education to get a decent education, to have all the facilities, because we've underfunded our government schools. Our government schools should be producing these talents themselves for free. That's the only ownership that the school should have on you. That's the only ownership that our schools should have on us, is the outcomes of the education that they gave us. We shouldn't be seeing our children being exploited. It's 2026.